Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be messing around with some more Botania and getting that quest line nearly completed. Hopefully you guys are ready. Alright, so today we're going to be going over a few things that I think are pretty important. Look at that backstabber up there. Oh man, he's just stealing my stuff. Pity on him, man. Just shame on him. Yeah, we're going to cover some more Botania things. We're going to go over a few things that are in the quest book and are actually really good things to look into that I've honestly never paid any attention to. So I got these things filled back up. I did make a few more runes. I do have them organized down here because we are going to need them. So I made another set of these. It's not too difficult to get those done since I already had all the stuff ready to go. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about this botanical brewery. We're going to not make these runes because it seems like this quest is actually under this quest right here. This quest is under some maintenance a little bit. I don't know. The actual update to this said that this no longer, or this says something about it requiring 140, which I mentioned in a previous episode. It requires 140 diamonds because there are 7 of these, and each one of them, as far as I know, requires 2 diamonds, and I'm pretty sure it's still that way in this update. Take runes, and all the runes of sin. So each one of them, as far as I know, yeah, require 2 mana diamonds, and if you need 10 of them apiece, that equals 140 diamonds. So, yeah. So I guess that one's going to be changed, but it still requires an elven portal, which we don't have yet. So I'm not too concerned about getting that one up and running yet. I want to get some of these other quests out of the way. That could help us out and actually make us move faster and get quite a few things. So let's go ahead and get started with that. We were working on horns last time, but we're going to skip that. We're going to work with some of this Botania stuff. So we have the Incense stick, which is pretty cool. And I think, I'll take a look at the Incense stick. So we have all these ones that are infused. And when we look at what it takes to actually make this thing, we need a gas tier. Right? And I think we might be able to get gas tiers with this. So, gas tiers are not very difficult at all. Let me head on over to my mob farm. And we will grab the stuff. Right there. Because we can get this no problem. We get quite a bit of it. And this will get us a gas tier. Perfect, so we have the stick, we need a piece of blaze powder, no problem there. And of course we're going to have to get some Livingwood, which I should honestly stock up more on some Livingwood. Actually, we don't even need that, we have twigs that we've made previously. And we can thus craft this thing. So I want to look at the recipes that this is used for. I guess it doesn't show. So to infuse this, I'm assuming we have to put it in our botanical brewery. It does tell us that we can put this in here. And we need to make a potion first. And I was thinking maybe a potion of speed. So, with the botanical brewery, there it is. We can see what potions we want to make here. So this is speed 2. This requires sugar, redstone, and netherwort. Will give us speed 2. I think that'd be something to actually get. And I think what we do, instead of a bottle, we put this thing there. So, we'll get some redstone, sugar, and a piece of netherwort. Let's grab that. Redstone, sugar, piece of netherwort. Sugar is in my sugar cane. And a piece of netherwort was also in that same chest, but this is okay. Let's get our sugar. And I think that's all we need. I think this is how it's going to work. So we place this down, right? That first. Then we tell it what we want to what we want it to be infused with. And there we go. And all we need to do now is set this to that, right? And there we go. It's working. Okay, so while that is finishing, we need to have something to hold our incense stick. And if we take a look back at this, You see, we need an incense plate. Just like that. It is Livingwood slabs and a piece of Livingwood. Right, Livingwood slabs. Just like that. And we have an incense plate. And there we go. Our quest is complete. Now, I don't know how much mana this actually takes, but it might take a little bit. What we could do to speed it up is switch this one to also pump mana into that, and it's going to go even faster. I don't know if there's an indication bar. Doesn't look like there is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so there is an indicator. How much are we at? I can't really tell. But I'm guessing maybe a half a mana pool is my guess, because this is a pretty powerful item. One of very many powerful items. Oh yeah, it's almost there. We are pushing not too much, like, it's not even using that much mana, to be honest. No, it's not using very much at all. And it's almost done. So, let's start working on another thing. Let's actually open this chest, though. Oh, we got another one of those guys. Let's get rid of him. Okay, so, back into the quests. This guy, the Tainted Blood Pendant, is done the exact same way. So, I don't know what the Tainted Blood Pendant does. Oh, this is finished. Let's get that guy. Look at it. It is glowing. It has a brew of Fleet Feet. And it's going to last 90 minutes. So, I mean, we can go ahead and put this thing down. It'll work in a 30... it said 30 meter range from where you place it. So, with that being said, I'm just going to place it right here. Do I have to light it by chance? I bet I do. I bet I have to light it. So let's get some flint and steel. Man, he is just showing off with that dirt. How rude. There's our flint and steel. And there we go. Can I put it out by chance? No, I can't. Yeah, now we have speed. And how cool is that? We have speed 2 non-stop because of this thing. And it honestly did not take very much to get that. So very useful. You can have multiples of them, and they'll each do their own thing. And there's so many different potions this thing makes, and it makes it so much better than any of the other types of things. So you can have night vision all the time. I don't know how expensive night vision is, but that's a thing. Okay, so back to the mystical flowers. This is another thing that you hold on you, and it will use mana to keep a potion effect on you. So if we think of other potion effects, putting, like fire resistance or strength, any of those would be very good. So let me kind of take a look back at the botanical brewery, and let's see what things might want. Haste, I'm not too sure about that. Instant health, I don't know if that would work. That'd be kind of one to look at. Jump boost, regeneration. That's something that we could definitely have on us and would be very helpful. So regeneration 2 is netherwort, gas tier, and glowstone dust. And we can have regeneration on us at all times, which is incredibly overpowered, but that is a thing. So what was it? Okay, so glowstone, and that's about it. Okay. One piece of glowstone. And I'm also going to need one netherwort. And then let's make the pendant itself. Like, the pendant is its own thing. So let's take a look at that. So we have the Tainted Blood Pendant. That requires Prismarine Shard, a diamond. By the way, I have been cooking up diamond like a boss. This setup is awesome. So as you can see, I got all this hardened coal. I've already processed a bunch of it. Bam, as you can see, I have almost a stack and a half there. and it is working flawlessly for me. Go ahead and throw that in there. And what else was it? Prismarine shards. Now, prismarine shards can be made from quartz, just like that. And you can also make, you can also exchange quartz, as you can see, with the I can't even pronounce it. This one is later on though. We're going to get to that, but that one lets you double it. So that's another way of getting around the old-fashioned quartz method. But let me get the quartz. I do have quite a bit, and I only need 4. And we're going to switch this lever, and that gives us the prismarine. How cool is that? That's why I like having that lever there. That's just something simple you can do early game. So there's the pendant. And we're going to do this the exact same way. Place the pendant in here and infuse. And I tell you what, I'm going to be using this thing from now on. This is an awesome thing right here. And just like that, it's going to get infused. And I'm assuming this one's actually going to take a little bit longer. No? It looks like it's doing pretty good. Yeah. It's not a big deal. This one is going to be very good, though. And as long as you have mana on you. Like, I have a full band of mana. And I think I have a mana tablet that's full in here as well. So, I have really just been storing up the mana. And I'll also show you another thing. I really want to get this fully automated, because right now it's not automated. I'll have to do a complete redesign of this to get it fully automated. But look at this. We want levels. You hold shift, you can consume the entire stack. And I can just stand here, and we have levels like crazy to just fill up all these mana pools. I was actually working on a better solution to this. So actually having the hopper up here, this, and drop into the wooden pressure plate, and have the wooden pressure plate send a signal up to the hopper, so that way it only drops one item at a time, and it can only be consumed one item at a time. That's perfect. This is an awesome setup. I will be using it in the future. Yeah, totally works. Until we get some wireless redstone, this would be awesome with some RF tools. So that is a thing. So let's take a look at this. How far are you? You're almost done. You're about halfway there. Okay, so I think it's time to move on to the rods. So let's take a look at the rods here. It's another quest we have to get done. So we have rods of the sky, or rod of the skies. Or rod of the, and then whatever it entails. So we need a rod of the lands, rod of the sea, a rod of the skies, a rod of the hells, and a rod of the depths, and molten core. So we need each one of those, and each one requires a specific rune. That's why I made all these runes down here. So let's take all of these different runes. We're going to need some sticks. I think it's 5 of them. If not, I'll have to make a 6th one. But we can start making each one of these, and each one requires its own specific item. So, like that one requires a piece of dirt. I think one requires cobblestone, and so on. So we have dirt, cobblestone, and we can all make them right here, so that way we have them. Have access to them. Oh, it must have finished. Let's grab that real quick. There we go. So, how this thing works should be infused with regeneration, right? So, as long as it's equipped in your bauble slot, I now have regeneration. And it's going to use mana. And it looks like it uses mana. I see my mana bar go down just a little bit. Okay, yeah, it uses it at a significant rate. Quite a bit there. So, I'll keep that out of my slot, so that way I'm not using so much mana here. But yeah, that is a thing I do have. So when I go to the nether, I can equip that, and I don't have to worry about anything. I could just pretty much nilly around and not have to worry about anything at all. So, we're going to make a Rod of the Lands. That's one of the first things. Now, this does consume mana. But, this is what it does. That's right, it places dirt at a very small cost of mana. How cool is that? And we no longer have to worry about making dirt. Dirt is no longer a thing that has to be done in here. We now have unlimited dirt. So yeah, pretty awesome there. So let's get to Rod of the Seas, which is unlimited water at the cost of mana. Now, we do need a bottle. Let's go ahead and get that. And we can just grab one of those. And we should be able to make this now. There is that. Rod of the Seas. Now, I'm not going to demonstrate that one because well, actually, I can. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll demonstrate this. So, let me go ahead and break. That was not the right one to break. We will break this one. Right here. So, that breaks our water pool. So, now we need to fill it with water. And bam. I filled it with water at the cost of a little bit of mana. Doesn't get better than that. Okay, and then we have Rod of the Skies, which is going to require a feather, so I need to make sure this is turned off and grab a feather. How convenient was that the chicken drops a feather. By the way, the chickens do drop items, so just keep that in mind. Regular chickens drop them. There is the chicken mod in here, so that will eventually allow you to make a bunch of items with chickens. So yeah, that is done. And this guy is really cool. It's actually almost identical to this guy. So it throws us in the air. So if we want to get to the top of this, we're now here. And wow, do we have a lot of Endermen spawning up here. So yeah, that's a thing. And I mean, it'll throw you up pretty high. So just keep that in mind. I do have that feather on me that converts fall damage into hunger damage. So it takes some of my hunger away at the cost of doing that. But that's okay. I'm trying to eat more things, by the way. And it just seems like until I unlock Pam's Harvest Craft, I'm really not going to be able to get my hearts, get more hearts. So that is a thing. All right. So that is there. I think Rod of the Hells is another one we need to complete. Let me just make sure. Right here. So yeah, we have Rod of the Hells. So we have 6 in total, so I do have to make another one. Alright. So let's go ahead and make another stick. There we go. And Rod of the Hells. That requires a blaze powder. And we can get Rod of the Hells. I'm pretty sure this one sets fire. Okay, this is the one that does an aura that actually hurts mobs. I completely forgot about this one. Yeah, this is a pretty cool thing, and I just put it in the worst spot possible, because it does hurt you. I forgot to mention that. But it does put off a pretty large aura. As you can see, it does have a cooldown. Pretty long cooldown at that. But that is pretty neat, and it will damage these mobs, light them on fire, and do all that cool stuff. So that is something to keep in mind. I wonder, does this show you a timer? It does not. Oh well. It said 90 minutes, so we'll keep that in mind. Okay, so next one is moving on to Rod of the Depths. So this is a rune of fire and water. And I think I just used my rune of fire. I have a rune of water and a rune of fire. Okay. So let's go ahead and make this. And there we go. Now I have a rune of the depths. This is going to create cobblestone. Pretty cool. It makes cobblestone. It's cobblestone creator. Good for making pathways. And then the Rod of the Molten Core. I'm pretty sure this one converts stuff. I actually don't have any of the... I don't have any blaze rods, but we're fixing to go get some blaze rods, so... Let me head to there, and I can actually demonstrate some other things first. Let me actually head back to the base. I need to get my Salamander's Eye in my offhand. And we are going to head over there. And go take a stroll for a little while. Alright, so here's where this gale really comes in handy. If I just hold it down, you see how fast I actually move? That's ridiculous. Also, I want to put this in my bauble slot so I have regeneration. I don't have any fire protection on me, unfortunately. I should have probably done that. But yeah, we're just coming down here for a quick second to chop some of these bad guys around. And let me go ahead and throw that on. Like I said, I do have regeneration. As long as I stay away from the pigmen, I should be fine. Because the pigmen, man, they will really do some damage to you. As you can see, I've already affected them quite significantly. They're already after me. Or these guys after me. Oh, see, just like that. And with this gale, I can actually just get away from all that. And find a good place to land. If I can. I may not be able to. How many blaze rods? I got 7. That's good enough for me. I'm out of here. But yeah, pretty nice. It actually doesn't affect me that much. And you can see with this thing, I can go super speed. So yeah, I really like it. Alright, so the last one is the molten core, and I actually need to grab my rune of fire from down here. I actually did not make enough, unfortunately. So I'll take my rune of fire, and we'll get that going. Perfect. And we'll have the last rod. Oh, this actually requires 2 of them. I don't know. I have enough. There we go. So there we go. The last rod of the molten core, and this guy, I think, does lava, but I think it can also convert stone, right? Yes, it can convert the materials over. And I think if you, yeah, it's just turns stuff into their smelted counterpart. So pretty nice. So that's something it does. I have to turn this off, otherwise I'm going to have a whole inventory of that stuff. I actually have no more wood in here, but I have tons of wood that I keep putting into it. By the way, you guys didn't know how that was actually working. I'm just keeping the wood stocked, and that seems to be doing a pretty good job. Just stocking it with wood, and it continues to crunch, 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 and get me charcoal. Or get me coal. Pretty nice there. So let's take a look at the things we've completed. There we go. We have all the rods. So now it starts getting into the living altar. Now the Livingwood avatar, not altar. I keep saying altar for some reason. The Livingwood avatar is a pretty nifty guy. Let's take a look at him. So it's just some Livingwood and a mana diamond. There we go. And we'll take our Livingwood. And we'll go ahead and make him. Awesome. So, what this can do, effectively, I just created something that will automatically hold one of these rots. But it does need mana. I'm pretty sure it needs mana. So it might actually need one of these spreaders pointed to it. I don't remember exactly. Let me create a demonstration here. So this will push me up. I put him here. He's facing me. And I hand him this. He's not doing anything yet. But if I give him mana, he should now use that item, right? Function mode? Maybe he needs to build up a certain amount of mana before he can actually work. Because with that rod, he should effectively shoot me in the air. There we go. Oh, I had to jump. Okay, so I activated it by jumping. Now, I don't know if every rod works that way. Like the rod of the molten core. That's not one he can hold. I don't want to try the hells. The depths. Okay, so that just did it myself. So yeah, this one, the Rod of the Skies, I know is one that he does accept. Just saying, that is one that you could use as like a teleporter. So, yeah, and it is sending mana. It does require mana, so it's something you'll have to keep in mind. Not something that it's going to be really useful for me right now. So I'm going to just pick them up. Would be faster if I had an axe on me, but yeah, inventory space and such, no big deal. But yeah, that is a pretty cool item there, and there's multiple uses you can use for it. I think it's used definitely later on. It can become fairly very useful. For right now, it's going in my locker. Just another thing that I made, and all these rods as well. All right, so let's get those in there. Let's take a look at some of the other things. We have all that completed. The horns, I haven't quite got all of them done yet. I'm not too worried about those, but sparks are used to quickly transferring mana between and accepting blocks, or mana accepting blocks. So this is great for Terrasteel. That's all I can say. This is good for Terrasteel. This is good for transferring mana back between pools. And they're not hard to make. So let's just go ahead and make them. Just to get that quest completed. And eventually we can get to Spark Tinkerer, which allows you to activate different types of sparks. So you have a recessive and dominant sparks, which you can transfer mana back and forth between. It's a pretty nice mechanic and is very useful for getting into late game Botania. Alright, so to get this, I need blaze powder and I need a diamond ingot. And that will give me one. And I also need some petals. Technically you need two. Is this quest actually asking you for 2 sparks? Just one? It should ask you for 2. And the reason I say that is because you need 2 sparks for it to function correctly. So there's those. And let's just go ahead and get 2 worth. And there we go. And that way we would just have 2 on hand. And there we go. It completed the quests. So we're almost done with Botania. What is it asking for us to do? Make Terrasteel? I think, honestly, in today's episode, we could possibly make Terrasteel. I do need the plate. So I need the Terrasteel Agglomeration plate, which does require all these different runes, and lapis blocks, and a block of mana steel. That is just one of the requirements. But first, before I even worry about doing this, I really want to get into some other things first. Because honestly, getting this, I'm not that worried. This is going to get us to the Elven Portal. So let's just take a look at the Elven Portal. Does it show it? I think it's called Gateway. So the Elven Gateway, as you can see, requires Terrasteel nuggets, and that's what blocks you from just jumping right into that. Also, I think the pylons... Ooh, they changed the way they look. The Natura pylons, which I think you have to have the Natura pylons, is the ones. They also require it. So you're going to look at, I think 3, so you need 9. So you're going to need at least 1 Terrasteel ingot, and you should be able to make each of these. This is, of course, the Gaia pylon for the Gaia. But yeah, you're going to need at least 1 ingot to get started with that. And we're going to go ahead and try it. We're going to try it. I'm going to get all the stuff together. I'm going to make the agglomeration plate, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, so I have, I think, everything to be able to make this plate. Everything but the iron. So let's go ahead and grab that real quick. And then not only that, we're going to need to make at least 1 mana steel. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. There's our 9. There's that. And I think I have some more mana steel. This is going to be used later on. This is going to be used now. And my living rock is actually somewhere else. So let's keep that in mind. Alright, so there's our block. Let's get our living rock out of here. We're going to need that in a minute. And we should be able to make this thing, right? Bam. Alright, so here's that setup. Now, this is where we need to change some things up. So I think this corner area right here is a good place. Actually, yeah, this corner area would be a good place for it. So let's go ahead and do that. Do need to clear this area out. Not going to take very long. I just need to get this area of dirt kind of cleared out because this is where we're going to put all of our stuff. I kind of want it on the ground level, and that's just how it's going to be. Okay, so right here is how this pad is set up. We're going to need blocks of lapis. There's the lapis, and then one living rock right in the center, and then we put our plate. And then bam, this guy is set up. All we now need to do is set a spark on top of a mana pool, and set a spark on top of this. So now these two will communicate, and it will transfer mana into anything that requires it. So like this right here requires mana, and this is going to drain into this one from the spark. So let's go ahead and transfer a few items. We need to turn this into a mana pearl. After we turn this off, turn this into a mana pearl, turn this into mana diamond. And all of these items are going to go on this plate. Just like that. And you're going to start seeing a little effect going on. As you can see, there's the mana being transferred. And it's going to transfer half a mana pool. So just keep that in mind. Each Terrasteel requires one mana pool, or a half mana pool of mana. Kind of crazy, but that's what it does. And it doesn't really take that much to get this like started. So just keep that in mind. There we go. So that was really fast, was it not? That happened pretty fast. And there's our Terrasteel nuggets. So yeah, today was a pretty good episode. I don't know about you guys, but we got quite a lot done. And we're pushing further along into the Botania stuff. Eventually, I think next episode, we're going to set up the Gaia portal. Or is it the Gaia portal? I think it's called, not the Gaia portal, the Elven portal. And the portal to Alfheim. That's what it's called. We'll go ahead and get that set up. But until then, I will see you guys in the next episode. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also give this video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And as always, thanks for watching.